Hello everyone, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is one of my favorite days. As you know, today we're practicing the law of karma, cause and effect. This is the day that we need to be consciously aware of the choices that we're making in every moment, because every choice and every decision that we make sets something else in motion. And when something else is set in motion, things are going to be coming back. So we want to be mindful of the choices we're making so that when things do come back, we know and we accept responsibility that we have thrown things into motion. Today is the chakra associated with today is the root chakra, ruby red, located at the base of the spine. This is our ability to be flexible. We've got to be flexible. We've got to do the dance with life today. Today, not everything's going to go the way that we think it's going to go, and yet when we can make conscious decisions and choices in the moment that we're in, based on the information that we have, and we're mindful about it, chances are we're going to make better decisions because we will be responding to life as opposed to reacting to it. So flexibility is required. If we're having difficulty and we're experiencing some reactive responses today or reactions to things today, it could be that our root chakra is blocked, and that's going to prevent us from making transformational decisions. It's going to prevent us from having a stable, centered footing. So we want to be practicing the mantra associated with today's chakra, which is LAM. LAM. So be thinking about that today. Now I have a story to share with you that is really a great cause and effect story of everything that I just said to you. Over the weekend I was at Costco filling up my car with gasoline, and I'm sitting at the pumps, and if you've ever been to Costco before, there's like a one-way in and a one-way out. And so there are two pumps in a row, and if the first one vacates, you kind of got to go around that car to get to the pump. Well, I'm sitting pumping my car with gas, and I see an SUV come in on the other side of the pump, and it vacates. There's an opening on the first pump, so this SUV slides in, following the rules as far as I was concerned. And then the next thing that I notice a few minutes later is that a woman coming from the other end, like a car that's in line for gas, is walking very purposefully with a scowl on her face as she's walking very deliberately to the SUV that just pulled into the first pump. And she proceeds to tell that person that they cut the line. And she doesn't do it in a very nice way. She starts yelling at this person. So I'm kind of like playing the role of an observer, you know, being very grateful that I'm not in that line and not having to deal with this. And I'm just watching all of this unfold. Well, one thing leads to another thing, and now these two ladies are screaming at each other, obscenities and all, and the next thing that you see is another man coming from the back of the row. He starts walking up, and he can't control himself because now he's got to get involved, and now they're all going at each other. The F-bomb is flying. I'm waiting for people to start punching each other because apparently what happened was this SUV cut the line. The next thing you see is the attendant, because I was kind of looking for the attendant, wondering where he was and how he was going to handle it, because, you know, as a coach, I'm looking at it thinking, as this whole thing is unfolding, hey, how would I coach these people through this process? Being completely mindful that that would not be my conscious decision to go insert myself into this shitstorm that's taking place. I'm kind of sitting back and just being the observer. So the guy comes out, the attendant comes out, and now the blame is flying. It's your fault, because you should have been out here directing traffic. And the other woman's going, no, it's your fault because you cut the line. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I can't even believe all of this negative energy is looming over here, and all of these people are completely clueless that they have set all of this in motion. So as an observer that was standing back, you know, I'm looking at it, I'm going, wow. I'm thinking, if that woman who was driving the SUV would have just noticed the fact there was an open space and paid attention to the fact that there were cars in front of her, which I'm sure she did, and made the conscious decision to go anyway because they weren't moving fast enough. Had she made a different decision to go tap on the lady's window and say, hey, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, and that first pump is now available, all of this could have been avoided. Yet she certainly wasn't taking responsibility for that. She was blaming the other lady for not paying attention. Now, the other lady who walked up there pretty deliberately and then went to the window instead of banging on the window and going for the jugular to tell this lady, what she did wrong and where she could go. If she would have tapped on the window and just had a conversation with her that said, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, there is a line, we're all waiting, maybe the conversation would have been a little different. Instead, like I said, it was a free-for-all. Everybody's yelling at everybody. Everybody's screaming at each other. The attendant's not sure what to do. And all I kept thinking to myself was, one, what a beautiful example of cause and effect, because all of this could have been avoided. Two, I'm thinking, I'm so grateful that I'm not in that line. And three, I thought, should I go over there and try to coach them through this process? Maybe give them my card. Maybe tell them about our group. Because maybe they could learn the spiritual laws, especially the one for today, cause and effect, the law of karma. So my point is, be consciously aware. None of these people were aware that they were setting all of this in motion. You know what? Chances are they probably were aware. They just didn't realize that whatever they put out is going to come back. I can't imagine anybody having a conscious thought thinking that if I'm going to verbally attack somebody and approach them in a way that's unkind, that they are going to be met with a response that's going to be favorable. And yet it was just one conscious decision after another conscious decision after another conscious decision that led to this riot at Costco at the gas pump. All I could say was, when my gas was done, when I was finished pumping my gas, I was out of there and so grateful to be out of there and thought, gosh, now I have a beautiful example to share with all of you. So be mindful of your decisions today, especially today. Bring all of your conscious attention to how you can resolve a problem with grace and kindness, because there are going to be times that we are going to foible and we are going to make a conscious decision that's going to set somebody off. And if it does, the best thing that we can absolutely do is diffuse the situation. Apologize. That lady could have apologized and said, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it. There could have been a million different things that could have happened, and yet nobody was thinking about the ramifications of what they were bringing to the table. And that's the lesson for today. We all need to be mindful of how we are responding to things, so that even when we do make mistakes and somebody's going to come at us because they're not familiar with the laws and they're not familiar with how to approach a situation with grace, that in turn we can breathe through the process and make a better conscious decision going forward, so that we can diffuse situations so that they don't become exacerbated like this one did. So that's what I want you to be thinking about today. I hope that you have an absolutely outstanding day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.